how are you? Welcome to this video in a series of videos. I'm doing this on my commute from Naples to Miami, and from Miami, which is this trip, to Naples. And this is rather late in the day for me because what happened was I got to my car at the airport there, and guess what? It had a flat. But thankfully I had road hazard, had the city of Miami truck fill it up because they take care of us there at the employee parking lot at the airport. And then off we go to Walmart, is where I got the tires, and they gave me a not a new tire, but a repaired tire. They took the nail or screw or whatever it was in there, took it out and fixed it, and I am on my way home. So today, guess what we're going to talk about? If you've been following this series, you already know. Yes, you already know. So I'll put on my fancy glasses and my beautiful hat that is hiding my hairless head from chemotherapy, and we'll talk about how sleep works into my protocol of healing cancer. Now, can I come right out and say that if you do my protocol, you're going to be healed of the disease? No. And you know, everybody's different. Everything that I give you or give anyone, and anyone that just curiously follows what I do, that is not any kind of guarantee that anything will happen. Matter of fact, you may even get worse, I'm sorry to say. But these are pillars that I have found according to science and the scientific studies of the pillar along with cancer. You will find, if you do your own research, that there is a lot of value in doing these specific things. And I've come up with 6 or 7 of them so far. I think I have 6 that are like really strong. And there are some other ones that I really do believe in that I share. But one of the strongest one of the biggest pillars, one of the things that I want you to really grab a hold of, if you grab anything out of my protocol, first of all, I'd have to say is the therapeutic ketogenic diet. But I mean, you know, all of these things that are the pillars in the program are super important. And this one is too, and it's sleep. Man, I am an entrepreneurial type, even though I do have a job at the airlines. I still have a jillion things going on. If you know me and follow me on Twitter, you know, where I'm probably most active, you'll see that I'm always up to something, always doing something, always coming up with stuff that I want to help to not only benefit me, of course, but to benefit other people. I think that's what we're planted here for, is to help others. And I just kind of see different ways of doing it, and it's exciting. But you always think as an entrepreneur that I don't need sleep, I can get this job done, and I can stay up all night doing it. And maybe, you know, sleep is for babies. Maybe do like 1 or 2 hours on the couch and then get back over to the computer and do it. Yes. And you come to find out that after you do that for a few years, you become the most burnout person, and you want to rip your hair out if you have any, and just stop doing what you're doing, and you start disliking those things that you love so much, you know? Those things like, man, I'm going to put together this program, and it's going to be so good, and it's going to help so many people. And then you find out what a big job it is for one person, so you say, okay, I just won't sleep, right? And you don't. And your body, what happens to your body? Your body starts taking hits where it wants to sleep and rejuvenate itself and live longer and give you the vitality that you need. You're actually shortening your time here on Earth by not sleeping enough. So we've learned probably so much about sleep in the past, I would say 5 to 10 years, it's just incredible. The things that have been popping up and the new things that we're learning about sleep for the human body. The body needs to rest at night. There's a good reason for it, and it needs sound sleep. And I would say, I think you need at least 7 to 8 hours of sleep. If you go shorter than that, your body really doesn't have enough time to do all the miraculous stuff it does. The thing about the body is that it doesn't have a magic wand where it cures things overnight. Remember when you fell down and maybe scraped your knee, or like me, you were carving balsa wood boats when you were a little kid and you accidentally slipped with that super sharp knife and cut yourself, and then maybe a week later that thing healed up and you were good to go again, right? You could use that finger or you could use that thumb or whatever you were holding there that got in the way of the knife. Okay, lots of pebbles coming from this truck in front of me, which is not a good thing. Yeah, so the body already knows how to heal itself. The body, like I say, one of my sayings is, if you follow me for any time on here, the body isn't stupid. Body's not dumb. Hey, guess what? I just stopped at the Starbucks, and the gal there in the drive-thru said, can I pay for this with my app with PayPal? Because I didn't want to load 20 more bucks up onto the app, for some reason. It just hit me like that $20 is going to go in Starbucks' hand, and I could probably do more with the $20 right now than Starbucks can. They probably take that money and invest it in something and get a return on it. Why can't I do that? So I wanted to pay with a PayPal card. She says, Mr. Jackson, you have enough points where you can get a free coffee today. So I said, you know what? Mom said free is good. Let's go for it. So I got my free coffee, and I'm letting it cool down a bit, because when I go through Starbucks, I get black coffee. I get an Americano. I don't get the drip coffee. I don't think the drip coffee tastes as good as the Americano. Now, what is the Americano? It is a shot of espresso, and maybe with this grande, it's 2 shots. I don't know. I think probably 2, because it's a pretty big drink. And then they fill up the rest with hot water. So you get the flavor, the full body of the espresso shot done right on the machine, ground, then made, hot water pressing through those grounds after they've just been freshly ground, right? None of this stuff where the stuff's already ground and they're dripping hot water through it and then put it in a thermos and you're drinking off that, right? This is the real McCoy. It's called an Americano, and they're not too expensive either. They're not an expensive drink, but it keeps me awake as I make this cross-state journey out here on Alligator Alley. So I just want to let you know that today's free drink day in Dave Jackson's car. And let's get back to our subject about sleep. Sleep is something I know I need right now. That's why I got the coffee, because I know I can't sleep now in the car. Actually, I could, and I've done it on several occasions when I'm listening to my body, and my body says, if you don't sleep right now, I'm going to fall asleep while you're driving and crash into something or somebody else. And I don't want that to happen. So what I do is I'll pull over, I'll lay this seat back, right, make it into like a bed, and if you're tired enough, doggone it, you're going to sleep. It doesn't matter. Even sometimes when you drink coffee, your body will say thank you and just put you to sleep really, really deeply, okay? So why does the body need that? It needs it not only because those areas in your body and your brain, which is part of your body, need to recuperate, but they need time to do this certain, have the exchange of certain things that happen only when you're sleeping, like exchange of hormones, exchange of dead cells. The immune system gets a kick, for the better, and all this stuff happens at night. Now, remember about cutting your finger or cutting your thumb or anything like that. The body is just as smart on the inside as it is on the outside. So any of that stuff that you have going on inside, and I'm even including cancer in this, the body can, when given the chance and when giving remember what I talked about the other day about the balance that the body needs to be in, which is called homeostasis. When the body gets in balance, then it's good. It's like, you know what? You've found the rocket formula. You've got fine-tuned. You can get the most efficiency out of this engine, and it's going to perform so well, it's just going to blow your mind. I have seen the body do such miraculous things. As I was talking to you when we did the little clip on fasting, about how some people have fasted for days, 13, 18, 19, 20 days. At the end of the fast, they go to get their CAT scan or whatever kind of scan they get, and they can't find that cancer anymore. That's what happens. And it's not because of something, some miracle. It's because you did what the body needed, and the body took care of itself by fighting off those cancer cells with those immune cells, normally T cells, and different things that fight off the cells that are all screwed up inside your body, which are the cancerous cells. Don't forget that cancer cells are you. They don't come from the outside. They don't land on you and absorb through your skin. They're your own cells that have gone wrong, right? Think of them as zombie apocalypse cells or something like that. I don't even know what I'm talking about, because I don't think I've watched any of those shows like that. But all I know is that they were people, and now something happened to them, and they are the same identity, but now they've mutated into something crazy, right? Cancer cells is sort of like that. It's you, but you're mutated into something that you can hardly recognize, but it's still you. It's you. So all we got to do is figure out how to get rid of that guy. And one of the best ways to do it, I've found probably the best way, the most efficient way, the way that costs less and you get more bang for your buck, is through fasting and also starving, if you can, by the use of supplements and also your ketogenic diet going on, starving those cells out of there. Now, I do chemotherapy as well, as you've heard, and that's just another punch in the face to those cancer cells when the time comes. So, what time should you sleep? I'm all about getting into the circadian rhythm. One of the bad things about my job is that it takes me across time zones. And so I'll get out on the West Coast, and for me, it's 9 p.m. For you, if you live on the East Coast, it's midnight, right? You're already sleeping, and I'm just 9 p.m. over there, and I'm going, okay, for me, my body clock is saying it's midnight. But actually, I look around, and sometimes I get on the West Coast, and the sun's still up, and over on the East Coast, they're watching the 10 o'clock news, 10 p.m. news, or 11 p.m. news. And your body is a miracle in this too. Listen up, this is so good. My studies have shown that your body can recuperate from a screwed up circadian clock, like you screwed it up by going across time zones. The best therapy for you to get back into your rhythm as soon as you can is to expose your whole body, your skin, your eyes, whatever, to sunlight. And barring that you don't have sunlight, then any light will work. Most of the lights that are reflect, or they are the same lumens and the same what would you call the same bandwidth as sunlight. Pretty incredible how quickly the body will go oh yeah, let's fix this. So what it does is it puts the body, lets the brain know that I'm in a place that has sunshine, so right now I should be okay being awake, right? That's why you've heard a lot of times that people will, as soon as they get off the plane in some foreign country, the first thing they do is just get out in the sunshine, and get out in the light. It's very, very, very good for you to get back on your circadian rhythm. Now, the problem with what I do in my work is that I'm not there long enough. I'm only there for 24 hours, and then before you know, we're coming back to Miami. So your circadian clock sort of gets going, and you're feeling like, okay, it's about time to sleep here in San Diego or Seattle. And actually it's time to take a shower and put your clothes on, your uniform on, and go to the aircraft and take those happy people back home to Miami. So it's like circadian goes, man, cut me a break, guy. You're all over the place. Especially if I don't take a break between trips. Like, here's an example. Today I got in from Las Vegas. We got in at a good time, 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning. Got out to the employee parking lot. Got on the employee bus. It was raining a little bit. Employee parking lot. Look at my car, the rear passenger side. I knew it when I left Naples that it was low, but I didn't really have enough time then, because I live so far away, to take care of it. All I did was I went to a Wawa gasoline place because they have free air, and I filled the tire up. And their air pumps, because I'm not sure why, but I know that at some gas stations where you pay to use their air, the machine that you have to pay for is trashed. It's not maintained very well. It's hard to read the screen sometimes. Sometimes it won't even take your money. And it's just a mess. These, at the Wawas I've been to anyway, which are pretty new, I guess, in Florida, they are so crystal clear, clean, and it's just a joy to go to that place, because you get a good feeling not only from the cleanliness of the place, which you don't have that gasoline station feel, and the good prices on gasoline too, I have to say, but also things work, like the air pump works and stuff. So I get back to the car. I call the Miami-Dade County rescue people, or the people, not rescue, but to help me out, because we are allowed that there at the parking lot. It's their property, and they maintain that for free. Just call them up and they'll come out and help you out. Really sweet guy came out, helped me out. He apologized for being late, but he was the only one working today, he said. Yeah, and I pumped my tire up, pumped my spare up. The spare, guys, I mean, think of this. I get out there, I'm in this thing here, this these thin parka things that you can buy. Not a parka, but it's a thin shell, with a down in it, duck down, and it's raining, and I said, well, I'll just put the spare on. I get down to the spare in the back of the trunk of this Prius, and the spare's flat. The spare has never been used, so it's flat too, and I'm going, okay, that's not good. Let's give them a call. I gave them a call, and they were out there, and that pumping that tire up with a slow leak got me as far as Walmart, and the rest of the story, where I got the tire. They fixed the flat, didn't give me a new tire. I didn't want a new tire, I just wanted my flat fixed. That made me sort of late, I guess you would say, for today. It's already 12:30 in the afternoon. They say free is good, but this is really good, because it's just like the one you pay for, only it's free. That's good. Hits a spot. Gonna get that caffeine going in my body, right? And we're out here on Alligator Alley. If you look up here, you can see the grassy fields of the Everglades, the Florida Everglades, one of the most beautiful state parks in the United States. And I have the privilege of driving through here on every commute, so I love it. Very beautiful. And sometimes you do see alligators out here on Alligator Alley. So I'm late in my day, gonna get home, I have clothes to wash, gotta get the suitcases ready, because tomorrow afternoon I have the same trip going out to Las Vegas again. And working a lot because I want to. Rachel, my daughter who lives with me, she works. When I get home there, sometimes she's not there. And our days go by like that. But then we do see each other. We do plan out holidays and things like that. I'm all about big family. But right now, I'm pushing myself to really work hard and, give myself the opportunity to get out socially because, as you know, that's another one of the pillars we're going to talk about another day. But what this does to my sleep is screwed up because now I'll get home, and this time right now, while I've been putting something in the clothes washer and maybe going back to the room and laying down for a nice nap, that's going to be squished into a smaller time frame now, which is okay. My body will tolerate it. I'm fit and have enough energy to do that kind of thing. But it's interesting how little things will throw your clock off. And I want to tell you right now, you have to, if you possibly can, and the reason I brought all this up is to tell you that not everybody can fit into that mold. Like I tell you in the other videos, is what I tell you with the protocol. Think of it as a massive store like a Costco or Sam's Club or something like that, where you have the various departments of different things. You have frozen food here, you have automotive over here, you have sporting goods here, right? And so I'm going to tell you things, and it's not to give you the information where you go and go, I'm going to take all that information and clean the shelves. I'm taking it all. No, you got to go in there and take off the shelf what works for you. And if you find something that I do that doesn't work for you, you'll know pretty soon. Like into a week into it, you go, that thing Dave does, I'm not there yet. Or I found that I could do it a little bit differently and get the same results in my ketones readings and my glucose readings. Don't fret about it, right? Just use the pillar as a guidepost to get you where you need to be so your cancer can start going away and you can start this process, right? That's what we want to do. So, that said, I'm hoping that you have a job where you can get home and get to bed at the same exact time every day, following a circadian rhythm. In other words, the hunter-gatherer people that we came from, like many centuries ago, they went to bed pretty much after the sun went down. And they got up pretty much just before the sun came up. And this is thrilling to me because I was raised, I don't know if you know this about me, but I was raised on the Amazon River in the Amazon jungle for some of my years growing up, my preteen and some of my teenage years. And it's a time that I will never, ever regret taking and having. And, my parents worked up there in the Amazon area. And so my friends growing up in that time of my life were like semi-civilized and sometimes uncivilized Indians, right? Think of that. And then I watched what they did because we'd have them along on our river trips lots of times. The women normally would be working, would be doing stuff at 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning. What were they doing? They were getting the breakfast meal ready for their husbands or their mates. And to me, that was incredible. And then, to see the sun go down, and then soon after that, if they didn't have a little fire going or something to chat about or something else to do, which you can do your stuff during the day, and at nighttime, they knew that was time for the body to rest, recuperate, make sure everything is good, alignment, doing the things that they could do as a human, as a person, doing all they can to stay in a healthy situation, right? They're not going to stay up till 1 in the morning doing silly stuff like being online or looking at magazines or pictures or anything like that. They're going to get their rest because they know tomorrow morning they've got to get up bright and or early and do it all over again. So if you can get on the same time pattern for sleeping, and Apple's latest iOS has a really, really good help app. It's part of the iPhone operating system, actually. It's called bedtime. Look for it, Google it to find out how to make it work for you. Mine is right around 9:30, sometimes 10 o'clock. And then my wake-up time is usually a few minutes before the sun rises. So right now, during this period that I'm recording this, it's right around 6:33 in the morning is when I get up. And as I watch the solar morning move through the seasons, I also change the time I wake up, the time I go to sleep, as I cannot leave it alone for the most part when I'm flying these cross-country trips, because I want that thing to be on track when I get back home. Now, you need to do this because research has found that if you go to sleep and you wake up at the same time every day, your body creates this rhythm, and it's very beneficial. Your body knows when you're going to sleep by the amount of light that's being taken in from the outdoors, and also from any device you're being holding in your hand. You're signaling to your body, because there are receptors in your eye that are not only for visual, but they are also for light sensitivity. So your body knows when the sun goes down, as long as you don't fool it by having these devices that have their backlit, they have blue light, and your body thinks it's day, like the blue sky, and it's not good, because it's keeping part of your body going, awake, using energy when it shouldn't, when it should be repairing itself, right? Your body will not get in any kind of deep sleep with you on Instagram, okay? So those are the main parts of this pillar. I go very much further in depth and do interviews with gurus, I say, that are all into sleep and have done their own experimentation with sleep. They call it a sleep benefit. It happens to your body when you get the right kind of sleep. It's not only sleeping. You know, there's different waves of sleeping, right? There's deep sleep, there's REM sleep, you know. There's different waves you go through too, alpha wave, beta wave. And then there's also light sleep. Or did I already mention that one? Anyway, it's such a fascinating thing. And if you get into the habit of going to bed at the same time, having something to alert you to put away your devices, time to wind down, get a good book out, start reading that, put yourself to sleep, and then wake up at the right time, you know. And when the sun comes up, get up with the sun, even though you have to do something like tomorrow. I'll be up at 6:33, even though I have this trip to fly in the afternoon, and I could just sleep in, but I won't, because my body benefits from that habit, right? So I've spoken enough on this. You know what the pillar is. It's very, very die-hard in my protocol. You must be a sleeper. You must not be one of these people that say, I'm an entrepreneur, I can get by on 3 hours of sleep. No, you can't. You may think you can, and you probably could sleep for a while that way, but you're actually killing yourself by not affording your body the chance to fight these normal things that you know are in our world today. Everything from maybe some kind of chemical they use to make these coffee cups, to things that you touch and you grasp and you put your hand on, where somebody else has put their hand on something that's very chemically charged or radioactive or whatever, and before you know it, you're putting your hand in your mouth, you know, and your body naturally fights against this. But if you have worn your immune system down to, like, you know, nothing, then your body has nothing to fight back with. So just word of caution there, okay? Now, what are we going to talk about tomorrow? Let me look at the trusty book here, because I want to give you a heads up as always, so you'll be ready for the next video. We are going to be talking about meditation. Did we talk about meditation already? Let's talk about meditation tomorrow, okay? And just got to make sure I got these videos right, because I could cover something twice, and I'd be so happy in doing it. Now, if you have friends that have cancer or have been diagnosed with something difficult and they're having a challenge getting through it, and you know in your heart that it's a metabolic disease, something that can be really, really helped by a change of diet, a change of lifestyle, and maybe a shot of happiness and gratefulness and gratitude coming from me to them, you know, please pass along this channel to them. You know, just go there and where it says share, just share the link, and then tell them, you know, that it's Dave, your friend from Naples, and you'd really like them to watch this video. And you know, I'm not looking for any benefit other than to help them see that there's a more natural, more beneficial, and a less painful way to do this treatment of cancer. All right? Tomorrow, guess what? I'm going to talk about meditation, but guess what else? I start my 72-hour fast, which we talked about the other day, fasting, and how important it is before chemotherapy. So tomorrow that starts because chemo's on Friday this week, and so I start Tuesday to Thursday, right? No, Tuesday to Wednesday, Wednesday to Thursday, Thursday to Friday. 72 hours, gonna hit that, gonna feel good about it. Hope you join me on one of these fasts. I'm gonna link in the description below the link to my fasting group on Telegram. Hope you join us over there. Just be a lurker. You don't have to say anything. Just watch what people say and watch what people do. And if you get curious, either send them a private message or just join in the group and chat. Nobody knows who you are, okay? All right. Hope this benefits many, and we'll see you in the next video.